Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 6 of Alan Wake. We're going to be jumping straight in, and having discovered relatively late here in the game that we can go to episodes and get our sort of recap of what's come before, let's jump in and do that now.
Previously on Alan Wake, I wrote a horror story that has come true. Thomas Zane did the same in the 70s.
You will go no further.
If I continue like the Dark Presence wants me to, the story I'm writing won't save Alice. It's a horror story. No one will survive.
You knew Zane! Thomas Zane! You're the Lady of the Light in the song!
He left something behind to help me. The clicker.
Alan thought of this as he stood on the rim of Cauldron Lake, the clicker in his hand. He took a deep breath and jumped.
I can get to her now. I can finish this.
And hello to Patikan. I hope you're doing well.
I had a hangover. My head was about to explode and the light hurt my eyes. I needed my sunglasses and painkillers to dull the pain. In one of my finer moments of self-deception, I swore to quit drinking. The sunglasses made the world look bearable. Now I could keep my eyes open without feeling like a vampire in the sun.
All right.
The pills worked fast. The prospect of being awake started to seem bearable again. There was a message waiting for me on the machine.
Whoa, no. What happens if you scan that? Does anybody know what happens? I don't have like a QR scanner on my phone. Do you have one? No. Damn. Because there's no way that's just artwork. Oh, I'm gonna be so curious what that is. Okay, anyway, we can't get hung up on that.
You have one new message.
Al! Are you still asleep? Wakey, wakey! You should have your show on your TiVo. If Alice wasn't too mad to record it. She called me earlier and really chewed me out. Yeah, we went a little overboard last night. But parties are a part of this business. Al, look, I'm saying this as your friend. She's not doing your career any favors by trying to run your life like that, okay? I'll talk to you later, Al. Watch the show.
So my producer had a good idea. We're gonna try to get it on screen as square as possible with not those flowers in the way. If anybody can scan that on their phone, I'd be super curious to know what that is.
I was on the talk show the previous night, talking about my latest book. The show was supposed to be waiting for me on our TiVo.
Okay, yeah, TiVo, we're going. I don't imagine that I'm going to be the only person that goes to the TiVo last in a circumstance like this. Yes, we have been in Alan Wake's apartment before. Nonetheless, turn on. Yeah, 1 second. Let me just take a look around. Every time we are in New York and we don't see Max Payne slow motion diving past the window, I'm a little bit disappointed. I gotta be honest.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Harry Gallic Show.
Thank you everybody. We have a great show tonight. I've been talking with the best-selling author Alan Wake about his new book, The Sudden Stop.
Yeah, good read. Go buy it.
No, it is a good read. Look, I'm gonna be honest here.
Is that wise?
No, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I got people who give me the lowdown on books. I'm a busy guy. But this one, I actually read from cover to cover. I mean, I'm a big fan.
Wow, thanks.
Now, this might be a spoiler for those who haven't read the book yet. Based on the sales figures, the 2 people out there who haven't read the book yet. But this last book is all about the death of the main character, the hard-boiled New York detective, Alex Casey. Now, there's been a lot of outrage about this. Why the hell did you kill Casey? What the hell were you thinking, man?
Good riddance. No, seriously though. 7 years and 6 books is a long time. He was a gloomy guy to spend all your working hours with, and it was a good run. But it's time to explore new things. My next book will be a departure from the old for me.
You selfish bastard, always thinking of yourself. Well, you've certainly given us a lot of entertainment over the years. And now that you mention it, Casey was a gloomy guy. Never had much luck with his love life with the ladies. Was that autobiographical in any way?
Yeah, no kidding. Casey's lady friends tended to die on him. With Casey, it was all about his pain. No, nothing autobiographical about that. I'm a happily married man. My wife is my muse.
Well, congratulations. That's great to hear. So, how's the publicity tour been treating you?
Good, great. But I gotta say, I'm glad to be back home in New York.
Part of me, I'm marginally curious how long this goes.
Parties and, you got into a fight with some paparazzi.
Okay.
Oh, man.
As soon as the
that guy was
topic
really in my face.
turns
I
to
lost my temper.
paparazzi.
I know that wasn't cool.
You are famous for that temper.
Well, I did also write several books.
Well, your latest novel is called The Sudden Stop, and it's in bookstores now. Go get it. That means the 2 of you out there who haven't bought it yet. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all we have for you tonight. I want to thank all our guests for the evening. Alan Wake, Sam Lake.
Wait, no, Sam Lake!
And our musical guests, Poets of the Fall. Thank you.
So Sam Lake is a
At least I've
producer.
been funny.
Hold on.
I told myself I could live with that.
Hey, honey. Did you watch the show?
I didn't say anything stupid, if that's what you want to know.
Okay, Grumpy. You want an aspirin or something?
Are you going to start with me about drinking now?
You know what? Go back to sleep, Alan.
God, he is such a turd to his wife.
What? Now you can't even talk to me?
Well, this morning I was angry because you said you'd be home at midnight and you showed up at 7 a.m. and passed out in mid-sentence. Now I'm over it. Are you angry?
This goddamn tour. It's gotten out of hand.
Oh, honey. It's almost over, right? We can get back to normal. Then you can start writing again.
I'm sorry, honey.
Alan, you're not thinking straight. Just take a shower and go back to bed, huh?
Yeah, you're right, honey. I'm sorry. Once this is over, let's go away together. A vacation. Just you and me. Some peace and quiet.
Ugh. He did not brush his teeth earlier. Yes, Sam Lake was also the face of the original Max Payne back when it was just
Somehow,
bitmapped.
The clicker was the key to the cabin. I had to return to Cauldron Lake to save Alice. I'm going back to the lake to finish this. I'm going to write an ending to the story in the manuscript on my own terms, to make it all right.
Why can't you just write it here?
The last page is still in the typewriter. I need to read it first. Everything needs to be just right. Zane tried to cut some corners, and it didn't end well.
Okay, ready when you are.
I'm sorry, Sarah, but I need to do this alone. Barry, take her
Don't
gun.
point that at her.
Miss Weaver, close the door when I leave.
Good luck, Al.
See you later. When I got out, it was warm and sunny. I'd flicked the switch of the clicker. Had it done this? I didn't stop to question it. I had to take advantage of the sunlight to get to the lake. On Zane's page, I'd stood on the rim of Cauldron Lake, about to use the clicker. That's where I was headed. in daylight, surrounded by the beauty of the Pacific Northwest landscape.
And the
It was
Verizon
hard not
billboard.
to let doubt creep in one last time. I could still chalk everything up to a dream, a delusion. I had enough imagination to make up something like this, having been in the cabin all this time, trapped in a story inside my head, gone mad from grief over Alice's death like Hartman had claimed. There would be no way of knowing. I told myself it didn't really matter. My course was set.
Yep. Wait, we need a vehicle. Hey, Tashir, how you doing? I hope you're starting to feel a little bit better. I hope it's not the flu. That would be awful. Yeah, listen, sometimes people are short-tempered, sometimes they've had a bad day or whatever, but by the way, I am trying to drive straight. I just can't. There we go. The way that Alan Wake consistently, like, snipes at his wife for no reason, and she just sort of is exceedingly patient with him. I don't know. Like I said, he really treats his wife like garbage, and I'm not sure if we're supposed to take him... I'm not sure if he's supposed to be a sympathetic protagonist, is what's interesting. As far as I can tell, the Alan Wake that we know is a fictional product of the real-world Alan Wake. And by the way, sorry, real quick, I love the fact that Alan Wake is a live-action actor in the world of Alan Wake, and that video game Alan Wake watches himself in full-motion video on the television. That's great. Wait. Sorry, I'm looking for thermoses, because I don't think we're anywhere near the 60 that I had tried to get. Sorry, we're going to pull over real quick. Just run along here. Just very quickly. Not a big fan of wasting time, but by God, if I can find another thermos... Aha! Well, I'm glad I stopped here. A rifle, batteries. I am curious. The live action actor and then even the interviewer there, it seemed to me like they got voiceover guys to redub the dialogue. I don't get the sense. I would be really interested to know if that actor is the guy who actually voices Alan Wake. So you're saying that he's never stopped there. No, you're probably much more productive than I was. I really don't want to get out and walk, though. Any chance we can off-road this? Nope. Oh, thermos. It was all worth it. Oh no, that's an ominous statement. You're saying he could have used that hunting rifle. So I've actually used the shotgun a lot more than the hunting rifle, despite the fact that the game seems to present that the hunting rifle is the better option. I guess we will find out.
The darkness had touched me. There was a link between us, always would be. I could feel its presence again, getting closer.
Kill your wife.
These guys seem like pistol guys. Okay. I'm sorry I called you pistol guys. Man, I got all 3 of them down to 1 hit left. Is that a... Yes, manuscript page.
The Dark Presence was no longer trying to capture the writer so he could create the ending it wanted. The writer knew too much. He was too strong. And he carried a weapon left behind by Thomas Zane, something that could hurt it. Now, the darkness was doing everything in its power to simply stop the writer from ever reaching Cauldron Lake and the dark place it came from.
So, let me share my personal theory. I think... Well, okay. So, I have a theory on which way I would expect the story to go, and then why I don't think it's going to go that way. I feel like it's at this point been implied that Alan Wake himself is the product of a story written by Thomas Zane. That Thomas realized that he didn't have any good options to stop the darkness, so he created a fictional author that he believes would be able to. One of the reasons that I'm doubtful that that is accurate, though, is, like, there's a sequel to this called Alan Wake's American Nightmare. So, like, I don't know that we're going to get a version of this at the end where it turns out that Alan Wake doesn't exist at all or is the product of somebody else's imagination. That'd be really cool, though. Okay, well, we're definitely going to stop at that emergency box. I guess it could still turn out that Alan and his wife are fictional characters, but that now that they are real, they are real. That's sort of the way that it works. Once you do exist, you have a right to continue.
In the hotel register, Agent Nightingale had stayed here, in room number 2.
Well, I want to try the hunting rifle. We're gonna leave the shotgun behind, but if there's a box of shotgun shells, we'll grab that for later. Also, I mean, I guess we're gonna go check out room 2, but it's mostly just so that I can loot that jerk's stuff. Aha! Coffee thermos. Also, I broke my promise in the last episode to see if there's a list of number of coffee thermoses. Mostly because I was sort of thinking about what Plusma was saying about sort of feeling burned out on games. And I was very focused on, you know, talking to somebody who I didn't, you know, I don't know Plusma outside of just sort of showing up in the stream here recently. So I don't have any good advice for him.
This had obviously been the room where Agent Nightingale had stayed when he hadn't been busy harassing me.
Okay, got some flashbang grenades.
Look after yourself and your co-workers.
Could have fooled me, Val.
But I was thinking about it afterwards, like... Oh, I'm positive there's an achievement. If there's an achievement to find 100 pigeons in Grand Theft Auto 4, if there's not an achievement for your collection quest, then it had better cause your console to spit out like a gold bar at the end or something, because, by God, I'm not going to collect 100 thermoses unless it's an achievement or, like, doubloons. But it's going to be one or the other. Okay. Oh, wow, we got a really nice flashlight. When did... Have we had that since the beginning of the level? I thought we had the heavy-duty flashlight. Not that I'm complaining. I really like the lantern. I don't know why Alan Wake puts it down. I would have handcuffed it to my wrist by this point. Well, speaking of achievements, I assume there's one for this. No. But I will still give myself an achievement for that. Okay, now there's sort of a truck stop here across the way. I am not trying to itchy and scratchy land this. I'm just interested in, you know, looking around and making sure that I'm not hurrying past anything important. Wait, anything over there? No. Nope. Okay, nothing at the truck stop. Okay. Nope. Well, I don't want to get out of my armored vehicle here. Oh, I can't back up? Yes, I can. If I can melt these guys and or their flying spools of death, I'd rather do that in the car. But the spools seem to be gone. Okay. We'll get out. One of many reasons that I would suspect that Alan Wake is the product of somebody else's fantasy is the fact that, as Alan himself pointed out, he gave the clicker to Alice in order to help her deal with her fear of the dark. And yet has also found a copy of the clicker, a duplicate of it, in the shoebox. And we found the manuscript page that explained that Thomas Zane wrote a loophole into his tale that anything that's stored in the shoebox will survive his obliteration. These things are going to keep getting up and coming at me. No! Okay. Our objective is fight past Poltergeist. The first scary movie that I ever saw was Poltergeist. I saw it when I was about 5 years old. By the way, I think I'm going to die here. Alan, just turn that flashlight around, shine it in your own face, get some of those lives back. Appreciate it. No! No, no. Alan, Alan. No. Okay. Well, Alan's too weak in the upper body to pull himself up from that. Awesome. Let me tell you something. If you don't like your kids, or you do like staying up with them for months at a time, show them Poltergeist when they're like 5, 6 years old. That movie is uniquely designed to scare the crap out of kids that age. And I to this day, think that it's a very, very well-crafted movie. Dodge. So actually, you're saying that he enjoyed Poltergeist 2 more. Poltergeist 2 is the one that I have seen the least. So I actually have relatively little opinion of it. I will say that Poltergeist 3, which is the one that takes place in the high-rise, has one of the funniest things that I've ever seen in a horror movie. And when you consider how frequently you get a cross-section of horror and... damn it. Comedy, that's saying a lot. But it is specifically, and by the way, I'm about to have a... well, see, my retelling of it is not going to do it justice, so I apologize in advance. But for anybody who is curious what I am referring to, there's a scene where Zelda Rubinstein is like doing her psychic thing, and she is going on and on about the darkness and the light and the youthful spirit that can guide the lost ones into the eternal heavens, and the psychologist behind her says, that's a load of crap that doesn't mean anything. And he deadpans it like she is in full-on 110% Zelda Rubinstein mode, and he is just having none of it. And the reason that it's so funny is that is 100% me. Sorry to, anyone else, but my tolerance level for psychics and their whole shtick about, feeling I'm gonna die here again. God damn it. Oh, okay. Hold on. It wasn't bad enough, guys. Okay. Clearly I need to focus, and I've got to get past this bridge, because I don't want this to be our whole stream. Okay, melt the barrel. Melt the other barrel. You know what's actually really smart about the way that the buttons are laid out? The dodge button, left bumper, is right next to the shine your flashlight button. So it makes it actually really difficult to aim your gun and also be prepped to dodge, because you have to use your left index finger for both those things. As a player, you have to make a decision. Am I focused on what's ahead of me, or am I getting ready to dodge to sort of remain light on my feet? And it's actually a pretty smart thing. Okay, refrigerator. I'm trying to dodge. So let me ask this question. Should I at this point go back and bask in the light to get some of Alan's lives back? Because, well, they are very, very slowly refilling. Hey, who dies? Okay, that's bad. Okay, I have no lives, so I'm going to make the controversial decision to see if I can get back into the light. It actually appears to be extinguished. I don't see it back there. That's probably specifically to prevent people from being the coward that I am. Okay, I think at this point, I'm just going to try to run past it. I don't know what's happening. Okay, and see, the thing about Alan Wake is that you don't want to ever sprint, because you can only sprint for a few steps. So you really got to time that sucker out. God damn it.
Nice to see you, too.
All right, easy peasy. Yeah, have a good time, Hihu. I'm looking forward to seeing the stream. I will say that after this stream, we'll probably be tossing to twitch.tv/morethanamiga, who I expect will be starting up her stream of Soma. Sorry, we haven't previously fought a monster truck before that I remember, but this time we have the benefit of our own vehicle. Sorry, I'm trying to shine it to death. Okay, that's cool. Yes! Okay, is there anything else cool in here? Probably. For anybody who doesn't know, Soma is an underwater-based survival horror game, or maybe just a horror game. I actually am not sure if there's much in the way of survival mechanics, but if you haven't seen Mia play a survival horror game, it's a pretty good time. Wow, 1 flare. Go ahead and shower me with riches. Vehicle on our right. If anybody sees any manuscript pages or thermoses, the hell am I supposed to do about that? Is that... Okay, no, I can still go. So interestingly, so I've never... Tashir's saying that... This particular section is making any sort of conversation pretty challenging. All right, checkpoint. Oh, batteries, nice. I've not fired even 1 shot out of this rifle. I'm gonna leave the shotgun there for a second. Tashir's saying that Soma is not especially scary. I'd heard it's good, but I've not heard whether or not people found it particularly frightening or not. Now that you mention it. One thing that was interesting is that last night, Feecrest did his very first stream ever, and he played the first Assassin's Creed. He is going on a journey that he's calling Assassin's Fee, and that is going to be where he plays each game in the Assassin's Creed series, and then provides his thoughts on the entire franchise after playing... Oh, okay, I see what the rifle does now. Okay, I don't know that I have the heart to melt all these puddles. Is there an achievement for melting all the darkness puddles, or I can just walk around them, right? Alright, we're not going to let that guy get us that time. Where I was going with that is that what was interesting to me is that Mia said at one point that she was actually really enjoying the look of the game, and that to me is just, I'm so interested in people that like the first Assassin's Creed game. Hold on one second. Just... Assassin's Creed, that first one in particular, is one that I just would not expect that she would respond to at all. It has a sort of a notoriously slow beginning, and then a slow middle, and then a slow end. It's a very slow game, and doesn't have, to my memory, anything in the way of humor or, you know, shocks or surprises. The first Assassin's Creed game is an elaborate tech demo, and it's... Hold on, I don't really want to burn another flare. Oh. Go. What do you think of that, boys? No, Assassin's Creed 2, where you actually have a character with a personality and a stake in the story, that I could imagine her getting into. But even then, I would have expected it to be, you know, a few episodes. Like it takes a few hours, I think, to get into the story of Ezio Auditore. He's kind of a tool bag when you first meet him.
The bottom of Cauldron Lake was a graveyard of things the lake had claimed in one way or another over the decades. The Dark Presence brought them up in its wake, scattering the rotten waterlogged hull of an old boat here, the remains of a long-ago crashed airplane there, trees shattered under the impacts. The earth groaned. It didn't even notice.
All right, yeah, we should probably back down on the Assassin's Creed talk. We had literally 170 hours of that, so we will move on to darker topics, I suppose. But yeah, I will say this, not on the topic of Assassin's Creed, but on the topic of streaming in general. Fee should be streaming his next game, which would be Assassin's Creed 2, hopefully sometime, if not today, then over the weekend. And to recap the rules, his mission is to play each Assassin's Creed game in sequence for 2 hours, or until he reaches the title card, whichever comes second, whichever one takes longer. I have advised him to invest in an IV drip and a colostomy bag, because some of those might take a while. Can I drive the van? I'm betting not. All of Alan Wake's drivable vehicles are very flashy, and plain white van is not going to do it for him. He's too good for that. Oh, yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, Assassin... Oh, so, here's one thing. After that final stream, after saying multiple times, Assassin's Creed Odyssey turned out to be the stream of lies. Because if you ever go back and watch, like, the first 8 episodes, and don't, but if you ever go back and watch, like, the first 8 episodes, I maintained over and over and over again, we were not going to stream the entire game. There's no way. I'm just going to do a few episodes here and there, and then I'll go play a bunch, and we're not even going to bother archiving them. We played the entire damn game, and while playing the entire damn game, I also repeated over and over and over again, but I'm not going to get 100%. I'm not going to do everything. Like, the world is too big. I did everything. All of it. The whole game. Every location, every side objective, every riddle, every piece, every legendary set, every cultist that you could find, all of it. Every mercenary, that is 100% complete. Every achievement in the game. I believe that it is the only, like, non-telltale, non-narrative game in which I have all of the available achievements. All the DLC, everything. So, yeah. I really liked that game. Monday through Friday, trespassers will be prosecuted, solicitors will be shot. See yard manager when you enter. I also believe that that is the first Assassin's Creed game that I've finished to that extent since Revelations. Revelations being the last game that I don't think I got all the achievements for, like, the multiplayer stuff, but I did everything in single player. Everything you could possibly do, all the bonus objectives, all that kind of stuff.
I had to get the gate open.
Really could just get right over that, Alan. Just gotta lift your leg up above your waist. Wait, Reed. You must sign a liability waiver before entering the yard. If you're looking for a specific part, ask for it first. Or you pull it, you must bring your own tools, wear protective clothing. Junk piles may shift hazardous area. Cool. One thing we haven't discussed at any point is the weapon impacts in this game. Every single weapon is, like, it just feels good to use. And when you land a shot on the guy, the way that there's that flash of light and they recoil backwards in that way, I think it's great. The handling of weapons is one of those things that it's, for me, it's very difficult to quantify, and yet I have very strong opinions on when I think a game does it well versus not. Okay, we don't care about that. Not yet, anyway. We gotta open the gate. I think The Division and Division 2 do it super well. That sound effect that you get when you land a headshot is satisfying every single time. I think that the Fallout 3 in particular did it very poorly. I think that it's okay when you're in VATS and you get to, like, shoot a guy in the arm and just watch it disintegrate at the shoulder. That's pretty good, but other than that, when you're not in... Son of a... Alright, well, if anybody wants to know the most wasted flare I've ever used, that was it. Tashir saying Mad Max is the only game they almost 100%ed. There's literally a couple things I missed. Yeah, so let me ask you this. On sort of the scope of open world games, how long is Mad Max? Oh, crap. Because that has also long been on the list of games that I would like to play. But I am not in a mood for another 200-hour game. I should check how long to beat. Probably answer that. No spoilers. What a great site that is. Ooh, hold on. We have a secret arrow. There's some guy behind me. Yeah, okay. Patikin's saying a 90-hour run. Tashir played it only for the story and then decided to go for the hundo. Spent over a week playing it. Well, the trouble is, even when I'm not streaming, I play games super slowly. I like looking around. I like reading all the stuff. I like listening to the voice acting. So in a game that takes most people, you know, 90 hours, it's easy for me to hit 110. Did I or did I not open the gate? I'm trying to remember if I hit a switch when I was inside. Yes, okay. Hop in the truck. Oh man, I know I missed something cool in here too. Like a thermos or something. But I see nothing. Okay. Or Tashir saying 55 hours. That's not so bad, but once Alan Wake is in the can, there's a couple possibilities. Okay, I really should have just rammed that guy. Oh, hey, we got an achievement right of way. Probably for running down a certain number of shadow guys with your vehicle, so I'm glad I stopped to do that. I've not looked at the achievements for this. There's certain games that I will look at the achievements usually about midway through just to see if there's anything I can do as I'm playing. And then there's games where I'm just going to take them as they come. And Alan Wake falls into that second category. I'm sort of playing this for the experience. Oh, hold on.
Zane cut its heart out, but it didn't die. The thing that wore Barbara's face kept crooning sweet nothings sugar-laced with poison. He put on the suit, untied the monster from the chair. The thing in his arms thrashed weakly, but he held fast. He stepped outside, off the pier, and into the dark water, a sinking pinprick of light descending toward a bottom that never came.
One thing that we're thinking about is The Evil Within 2, which I have heard is significantly better than the first Evil Within, and it would pretty much need to be. They'd really have to work hard to make something that I found less appealing than The Evil Within. Oops. Okay. Yes, thank you. Flare gun. That. Okay. Very carefully switch away from the flare gun. Don't waste that. So my take on the Evil Within, and this is going to be the most petulant complaint that you've ever heard. Okay, junk files may shift. Not be alarmed. I don't mind letterboxing. If I'm watching a movie on my widescreen television and it's got like some real thick letterboxing, as long as the movie is any good at all, I will usually forget about the letterboxing pretty early into the experience, and I'm just drawn into whatever's happening on the screen. Oh! Damn it, stupid asshole. Ugh. Oh, I think I have to climb the ladder again. In The Evil Within, if you've never seen it, if you're watching this, you've never seen The Evil Within, like on its original, PlayStation 4 version, it is difficult to describe the mail slot that you are expected to play that game through. You can simulate the Evil Within experience by basically tying a slat of cardboard over your face and then just basically scissoring open the narrowest slot that you possibly can, and go ahead and try to play a game like that. And that's The Evil Within. The letterboxing is asinine in that game. It adds nothing to the atmosphere. It makes the game feel I was about to say that it makes the game feel claustrophobic, except that would make you think, isn't that a good thing in a horror game? No, it makes it feel like your character has glaucoma, is what it feels like. It's very, very frustrating. Trouble is, I really feel like I gotta focus on getting the death machine down, and then we can focus on, you know, the guy with the sickle. Is that Stan Lee? So on the PlayStation 4 version, at least when I played it, you could not turn the letterboxing off. What is happening over here? I can't tell if that's a graphical glitch or... or what? Okay, this feels like cheating. Yeah, I want to be clear. I am not proud of the fact that I was so irritated by the letterboxing effect in The Evil Within. I think, like I said at the beginning, I think that it is a childish reason to dislike a game. I think that you should, that I should be more focused on the gameplay mechanics or the story or whatever else, but I couldn't get past it. I felt like so much of my visual experience was just squandered in the name of graphical fidelity that I also didn't think it looked particularly good. So it's not fair of me to say anything about The Evil Within because I did not play very far into it. I'd say maybe 3 or 4 hours. By the way, what is happening here? It's like the cable is just flipping out. Get to Cauldron Lake, it says. I would love to. Let's see, how do we... That said, if I went to a stream and I saw somebody playing with it, I would not give them a hard time, for sure. I think that's the thing. The thing I like about the PC and the thing I like about those sort of options or mods is that it gives people the freedom to play it any way that they want. But anyway, I have thought for a long time about playing The Evil Within 2. It's on a very, very nice sale from Steam. And I've heard it described as an open world horror game, which those are phrases that I don't think I've ever seen together before. So I'm very curious about it. That might be one of the things like the Outer Wilds where, you know, we try an episode and I'm just not feeling it, but it sure would be interesting to give it a shot. Hey, Fox Eyes! Hold on, I got turned around in the stacks. Oh, nice. Oh, and sorry, let me circle back to something that Patikin said earlier, because I'm going to get punched if I don't. He complimented the episode titles. Every single one of them, in all of our episodes ever, those are done by my producer. And in a game like this that she is familiar with, she is referencing something that fans of the game are going to know, but that I am not going to mistake as a spoiler. So apparently this title, what did you name it this time? I don't even know. Clean Sheets and Whippoorwills. Apparently, we will at some point determine that has something to do with Alan Wake's adventure. What it could be will be
when
anybody's
I told Barry
guess.
My plan back in the well-lit room, I'd acted as if I knew what I was doing. I didn't. I was operating on the shifting logic of a dream. I had to fight my way to the lake through the horrors of the night. I had to flick an old battered light switch imbued with childhood magic. I had to write a happy ending to a horror story. I had to save my wife from the dark prison she was being held in.
Push. Wow, this is have we pushed anything else in this entire game so far? This feels like a brand new game mechanic being introduced 12 hours in. Now, Fox Eyes was present for Feecrest's first stream. And I'm concerned that I don't know... You know, I'm not sure that I have developed or cultivated the relationship with Feecrest to make as much fun of him as I want to. That was... I was hugely gratified when Fox Eyes made a comment about his seeming refusal to follow any of the on-screen prompts. And I have a friend who is exactly like that, and moreover, exactly like that with Assassin's Creed games. A third of the screen could be filled with 50-point text saying, walk up to the target and, you know, press B to pickpocket them, and he will do any other thing. And watching Feecrest yesterday felt like that. But the thing is,
never give her to you.
Oh. Okay, I don't want to be out here. This collapsing shaft will offer some protection. What was interesting about it is... Oh, and by the way, everybody who, you know, anybody who sees this now or hopefully in the future will be able to... Alright, I do really like that hunting rifle. Anybody will be able to watch this by checking out twitch.tv/Feecrest, that's Feecrest. What it felt like was like the game was speaking a language that he didn't understand. Like, to me, so many of those game mechanics, I've done so much of them that they are absolutely second nature. And yeah, it takes a bit of practice to figure out how the game expects you to do something like pickpocket a guy, but to me, the instructions just make sense, and to him, they were absolutely confounding, because it's talking about low profile and hold button 0 and all this other stuff. Also, Fox Eyes, we have to get him a controller. Like, I hear him say it doesn't matter, but it does, and the Assassin's Creed controls are famously, like, unusable with a mouse and keyboard. I really want this. Oh, hold on. Oh. So I will straight up confess here in Alan Wake, I still don't know where the weapons are on the wheel. Every time I press in a directional pad, I'm basically guessing. All right, you boys stay right there. Oh, Alan, God damn it. It's fine. It's fine. Oh my god, that guy took a flashbang grenade. They've never survived that before. Wow, I've never seen a guy eat a flashbang grenade right in the face and survive in this game. But like, there was one section last night where Feecrest was attempting to climb up and just sort of sidle over, but he kept like leaping sideways and falling and taking damage. That's keyboard and mouse stuff. Like, you just don't have the level of analog control to navigate the parkour in that game. It is like explicitly not designed to allow it. Like, this is Alan Wake. Like, I'm playing this with a controller. Sometimes controller's best. It just feels right. Yeah, but my vote is, if he's gonna complain, let's at least have him complain while playing the game correctly. You know? That, you know, I'm intentionally playing it in the least optimal possible way, and also it's not fun. No, he's got to own his judgment here. He's got to give it a fair shot, and that means playing it with a controller. That's my vote.
The dark place I found myself in was unlike anything I could ever have imagined. It wasn't solid. It flowed. It was conceptual and subjective. For someone else, an artist in another field, it would have been very different. I could sense the story of the manuscript all around me, the words and ideas floating in the air, poised to become real.
I don't think there's a franchise that I have, like, really not given a fair shake. Like, I just have a very unfair judgment about it. And I'm sure there is. I'm just not aware of it. Most of the ones that I tend to play a lot of a game before I will come to a conclusion about it. Okay, we don't need anything else back here, right? They're all just hollowed out husks. Look over here real quick. Oh, incidentally, I saw that Papalotko had moved on to BioShock 2. And by moved on to, I mean moved backwards towards.
Peak in the distance. That's where Cauldron Lake was.
I've not had a chance to see the stream yet, so I'm not sure if this is a replay for her, but I do know that she recently played and completed, I think she completed, BioShock Infinite. So going back to BioShock 2 is an interesting choice, and I wonder if she is playing it for the first time. I may have... Oh, are we going to minecart? Are we going to get to ride in a minecart? Yes! Oh, this is such an awful idea. In the bright daylight without crow monsters, this would be horrifying. Okay, Tachir has apparently never finished BioShock 1 and never played 2. Yes, you should get on that. That would make a great series. Oh, okay. I thought that we were in for like some Battletoads nonsense. We're gonna do some Donkey Kong Country rather. Donkey Quest. Yeah, if you are ever in the mood to share for, I want to do a series of like, you know, similar to your Batman series, and of similar length, the BioShock trilogy would play really well. And actually, let me amend that. There is a DLC pack for BioShock 2 that is also highly worth your time and attention. Minerva's Den. Yes, that is what it's called. Okay, do I want to go down there? I know that I want to go up on top of that other thing where we just were, but just see if there's anything at the end of this. Yep. Got it. Yes, in Minerva's Den, that's one of the sort of ways that they change up the gameplay, and it is very well done. Fun fact, I played BioShock 2 on PC. I actually upgraded and bought a brand new PC specifically so that I would be able to enjoy BioShock 2 at its highest sort of fidelity, and then played Minerva's Den on the Xbox 360 because there was like some crazy sale, and it was significantly afterwards, but it was interesting to revisit the game a few months down the line with a completely different control set and very, very different level of fidelity. BioShock Infinite, and, you know, again, everybody should play in the way that they find best. BioShock Infinite, I think, is a great example of a game that, you know, is fine on normal, but really shines when played on hard. I have heard people comment that the various powers and abilities that you can get and make use of in BioShock Infinite aren't very useful. My response to that is, hard will make them useful. There is nothing that I could do in BioShock Infinite that wasn't extremely useful and necessary. There we go. To deal with the challenges in that game, and I really, really liked it. Yeah, I would vote for that. I would also love to see, Mia do BioShock, because I don't think that she is familiar with it at all. It would be, like, given how much BioShock there came to be in, like, the public's mind, it would be like showing somebody Star Wars for the first time. Like, it would just be interesting to see what somebody would think of it if they have no background and no expectations for it at all. By the way, we just took our first, like, injury from walking onto black goo, because I actually did not see it while we were fighting the birds. Also, I mean, I think that there's an argument to be made, like the BioShock games aren't very jump scary most of the time, and yet I would submit that they have sort of horror overtones. They're very, very uncomfortable games. Crap. Anyway, I think that Mia would really dig them. That is good to hear. Yes, please no spoilers for Star Wars. I have been disappointed at some of the information that... Ow! Oh! No, I'm good. I'm good. Sorry. No, I'm fine. Okay, sorry about that, everybody. Yeah, hold on one second. All right, sorry. Yeah, YouTube and its stupid-ass algorithm has already started sharing, like, you know, interviews with people about things in Star Wars. Like, oh, cool. I super didn't want to know that, YouTube, and your goddamn recommendations. Oh god, the AI algorithm that's going to save us all from a life of not knowing every single thing in the world all the time. And then, you know, I haven't seen the movie yet, so every once in a while you'll get some information that feels like the world's biggest spoiler, and then it'll be, like, revealed in the first 3 minutes, so maybe it's not such a big deal. We will see. Yeah, Tashir, if anybody watching has not enjoyed one of Tashir's sort of single-player focused streams, he's both very thorough and very efficient. I am frequently stunned at how quickly he moves through. Like, the Batman series felt like it was 2 weeks. It was 4 games. Ah, crud. I will say this. On the channel here on Twitch, we have a complete playthrough of Shadow of the Tomb Raider, but not the 2 games that preceded it. And, hold on. We have Assassin's Creed Odyssey and none of the games that preceded it. We have... I'm trying to think of another one where it's like, man, I kind of want to go back and backfill all the games that were played just so that at least here on the channel, there's like a complete collection. And also, some of those games would be super fun to revisit. Like in just the last episode of Alan Wake, we were talking about the Uncharted series. Yeah, man, I would sit down and play through all the Uncharted games again. Yeah, actually, we were just talking last night about the fact that I would like to play Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, and that we'd probably do it on stream, and that it would be the one Uncharted game that's been on stream. So if anybody's wondering why I don't, like, try to run away from this guy, I don't know why you'd wonder that, because he's the speed of light, and Alan Wake is not. Oh no, are you not allowed to stream the... Tashir's saying, if only Sony would allow me to... Oh, that's right, you don't do PlayStation games, it's all PC. Oh, well, wait. No, that's Horizon Zero Dawn. Horizon Zero Dawn, Tashir, is going to be on PlayStation Now, which means that it could be streamed to the PC. That's another game that I would love to see you engage with. Horizon Zero Dawn is so good. The only rub to that is you'd have to subscribe to PlayStation Now and probably have... I suspect your internet is really, really good, but it is a streaming service, so, you know, beware. There's something else in here. Oh boy. These guys are no joke, so forgive me if I'm doing a lot less chatter and a lot more backing up, because I do not want to die here. Wow, that's ridiculous. Yeah, Tashir is indicating that they have... Wait, shotgun ammo. The 2018 God of War game, but only until the beginning of January. I mean, as previously said, you're real efficient at going through games, but that would be a tight timeline. You basically have to swallow your Christmas dinner at the gaming table in order to get through it. It's a meaty game. Okay, I'm not making good life decisions here. Oh, Alan. Boy, if we're not near the end of the adventure, I shudder to think what Chapter 9 is going to be like. This is getting really tough. Also, I think I need to make more intelligent use of flares. Or any use of flares. No, I don't want to use the flare gun. Not yet. Okay. Where'd the other one go? Oh, crust. Okay, first of all, so I've got some flashbangs, but these guys feel too quick for flashbangs. We got a flare gun. Make sure that's loaded. Pistol. And you know what? Hunting rifle. If we're gonna hit them, let's hit them hard. As long as I'm just... I swear to God, I'm dodging. I promise I'm dodging. As long as we're going, as of this recording, there have been some revelations about the Xbox Series X, which is their next game console. And one thing that has, I think, pretty much been fully confirmed is that it is going to be 100% compatible with all existing Xbox One games. And even the Xbox One hardware, like the controllers and stuff. That is very, very exciting. I am a huge fan of backwards compatibility. As you can tell from this stream of regrets, I enjoy revisiting older games, particularly ones that I haven't played myself. Okay, I was really hoping I could touch off that canister while they were both right next to it. So anyway, I'm very, very glad to know that the next Xbox is going to be backwards compatible with the existing games. That's a big win for everybody involved, I think. I'm gonna go back in here because in here, at least, they've only got the one path that they can get me, and I can re-heal on some lives. Yeah, it's interesting that he thinks it goes back to the original Xbox. And the thing is, it should. It should be able to. Xbox architecture has always been built around AMD chipsets and graphical processors. There's no good reason why they couldn't have emulators in there that would do what the PlayStation 3 used to be able to do to PlayStation 2 games. Play those games upscaled, up-res, improved anti-aliasing. That should all be possible. And the fact that they didn't do that with the Xbox One at first really felt like a slap in the face. The fact that they have now, they sort of came around and improved those things. Like Ninja Gaiden 2 on the Xbox One is a revelation. It runs so much better. It looks so much better. That looks like a sort of B-tier modern game. Forget about like a game that's, half a decade old or more. Okay, checkpoint. Turns out that all I have to do is talk about upcoming console technology, and the darkness gives Alan Wake a break. But I should probably, point out, I'm actually having a lot of fun. It's frustrating to die and whatever, but I don't begrudge the game its difficulty. If I think a game is unfair, you'll hear about it. Fortunately, I don't think that very often. Final Fantasy 15. That's a game that I thought got real unfair. I don't see anything here except for these stairs, so rather than having buildings dropped on me... Oh. You got me. Wait, sorry, I do want to see what Patikin has to say. So I'm doing a daily, and one of them is finding mushrooms. Pretty difficult when there's snow everywhere. Hire a pig. I understand they're pretty good at rooting those guys out. And by the way, it would not surprise me from what I've heard about the level of detail in Red Dead Redemption if you could actually, lease a pig to help you find things that are buried under the snow. Okay, flashbangs. I look forward to having enemies against whom I feel flashbangs would be useful. I feel like the guys that run at light speed are just gonna, go buy a pair of goggles and earplugs and then come back before the flashbang actually goes off. Darkness control to Taken. Got it. So, I am about halfway depleted on pistol ammo. And no more. Okay, we are full up. One of the reasons that I look forward to playing Red Dead Redemption 2, especially on stream, is to have an opportunity to talk some about Red Dead Redemption 1. I will not do that here for the benefit of people who aren't interested in spoilers, even if the game is relatively old. But Red Dead Redemption 1 did things that I admire so much, and things that I'm sort of, oddly fascinated by.
I needed to get the generator running.
All right, generator. Let's follow the wires. Generator. Oh, I don't like this. Okay, we're down to 2 rifle bullets, so if given the opportunity, I will switch the shotgun. Also, I noticed for the first time that this was damaging and killing the shadows. I don't think I've ever seen that happening before. Patikin is also noting that they have decked out the big city in Red Dead Redemption 2 in Christmas lights, which sounds really, really gorgeous based on how good that game looks. All right, well, come get me in here, asshole. Ah! Oh! Okay, don't sit under the elevator. Oh, so I started to mention that, you know, one possibility for our next game would be... Oh, I don't even remember which one I talked about now. We've been talking about a bunch. Another option would be Quantum Break, which is, like, the next game that was made by Remedy after this one. Or at least I think it was.
After Zane had gone, I stood alone in the shifting dream that was the dark place. I had to find a way to the cabin. I'd written myself a way through this place in the manuscript. I followed the idea of a path. I'd written myself across the ocean that blocked my way, and with that, there was a bridge to the island beyond. The idea of the cabin flickered in the underwater darkness. I willed the cabin to be real, and it was.
After Zane had gone, so are we in for like another physical interaction with a guy that used to exist in his weird Big Daddy diving helmet, but now doesn't because he wrote himself out of existence? This game really is the inception of game stories. Like, it feels like there's 4 layers of reality. Oh, okay. Okay. That wasn't the worst use of a flare that we've done. Especially with another flare gun ammo. So should I just fire a flare gun just right at that? Seems like a pretty good use for one, yeah? Oh! Here's the thing about Quantum Break that I think would simultaneously be really fun and really ridiculous. My understanding, based on the original reviews, is that Quantum Break is, like, fully half TV show. So it would be like a Kojima game where I would play a level and then sit and watch a 20-minute television show starring Shawn Ashmore. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like that idea. All right, let's battery this guy apart.
Do as you're told.
Oh man, Ghost Rocks. I actually really like, I like long cutscenes so long as I know what I'm in for. You know, there's nothing quite like saying, I have 20 minutes to play a game, and then struggling to reach a checkpoint because the entire time that you had was eaten up by this cutscene. Like, that's not necessarily so cool.
Never loved you.
But knowing in advance, okay, when I finish this level, there's going to be a television episode to watch, and being able to budget around that, I'm okay with that. Like, if that's how the story's gonna go, if that's your exposition. And sort of an apocalyptic amount of damage jumping off of that, by the way. Alan Wake took a minecart to the face, and then it just sort of like vibrated against him. Wait, no. Sorry, I honestly thought that I had the flare gun equipped. Okay, we're just gonna run for it. I deserve that. Okay, that time I equipped the flare gun and then just didn't have it loaded. Okay, so this time let's remember to run and jump. Jump! Ooh. Flare gun ammo. Well, apparently I got a whole box of this, so I might as well make it count. Okay, I clearly need to clear some more of this stuff out. But yeah, flare gun it is. I gotta figure out a way to get this stuff out of here. Maybe I can't. Maybe that's stuff that can't be destroyed. Okay, this time we're just gonna go full bore. Do it! Damn it! Okay, you just need to hit the stuff straight ahead. Thank you for the tip, because I am a little bit mystified as to what I should be aiming at right now. I will aim at the stuff straight ahead. Jump! But part of the reason I thought it was up is like when he jerks upwards like that, that's the auto aim. Like when you equip the... When you sort of bring the flashlight out, he's like automatically aiming up in the air. I was gonna do this for a few because I have unlimited ammo of this. Now I'm either not reaching that or... Yeah, like watch this, watch this, watch this. Aim, see? He goes way up there. Okay, let's reload on flares. Okay, we got 1, 2. 1, 2. So this looks like a big open... Oh, there's our 3, 4. Go!
You will fail.
There we go.
It's over.
Wait, what? I looked down at chat. I'm not sure what happened. Hello to Feecrest. We are fighting the end of... Sorry, we're fighting a tornado like it's the end of Superman. Go!
You will fail. It's over. You're making this up.
Where were they? I'm not sure how much I care about these birds. I just don't want to get knocked off the cliff again. Wait, no! Damn it! Okay. Load the flare gun. Shoot the flare gun. He did neither of the things I asked him to. Okay, I swear to God, watch this. Flare gun, load it. Load the gun. There we go. Shoot it. Hello to Kuzma, and yeah, I'm very much hoping that Tashir starts feeling better. Like I said in an earlier stream, don't push it, because you don't want like a sore throat to become laryngitis, but at the same time, man, I'm looking forward to having you back at the mic. So one thing I'm picking up on, I'm not going to go anywhere near the edge. I don't know where I'm supposed to go, but I know it's not down. Okay. A few birds. We'll pop in a battery just for good measure. Make sure I'm standing in the middle of the precipice. Don't see any more birds. So at what point am I just shooting the weird boat? Destroy the tornado. Alan Wake is placing a lot of faith in my knowledge on how to do things like that. I guess I'll just shoot it with a flare. The most obvious thing.
Baby, you were having a bad dream. It was just another nightmare.
No.
Everything's fine. You're home.
It wasn't a dream.
Everything's fine.
Turn the lights on. Turn the lights on!
Shh, baby. The power's out. There's no light. Come back to bed and I'll make you forget all about your fear of the dark.
My fear? It's your fear. Why aren't you afraid? You're not Alice. Turn the lights on now.
Where's the clicker? What did you do with it?
Alan, honey, you're still 1 foot in a dream. You're not making any sense. Come back to bed.
By God, I'm not going to stop checking the
Alan,
shower until there's
you're
somebody in
scaring
it.
me now.
Nope.
Come back to bed. Have you taken your pills? Do you want me to call Dr. Hartman? I read your manuscript. It's brilliant. Departure is your best work yet. You're a genius. I'm so proud of you. Come back to bed. We'll talk more about it in the morning. Come back to bed, Alan.
Come back to bed, Tom.
You must find your way to the cabin. It stands in your way. It won't let you pass. It has no heart. It's filled with darkness. You must fill its heart with light. Don't mind him. He's Mr. Scott. Your friends will meet him when you're gone. Use the clicker.
Oh, everything in the world is just reduced to his words. Nice. Do I want a shopping cart? Yeah. How about a telephone pole? Eventually.
I'm leaving you.
Oh, shoebox. We want that.
I'm leaving you, Alan. I messed up. I'm in love with someone else.
Oh, wait, there's nothing in it.
No, what do you say? You can't.
You don't love me. How could you? You don't even love yourself. All you do is torture yourself with work you can't do anymore.
No, I love you more than anything in the world. You're my muse.
I'm not.
Who are you? What have you done with my Alice?
Alan? What are you doing? Put the light back on. What are you doing, Alan? Stop. Put the light back on.
It wasn't true. Nothing like that had ever happened.
You're not my Barbara.
Tom, I promise to be good. Please, untie me, you naughty boy. I will help you write your masterpiece. I will love you forever.
No, you're not Barbara Jagger. I made a terrible mistake. I should have never written you back. You came back wrong. Your heart is filled with darkness.
Put that knife away, Thomas. Put it down.
My heart is filled with darkness. I'll cut it out. I'll take you back to the depths you came from.
Filled with darkness.
Get away from me.
Now you will never get her back. I am much older than you. Older than your first work of art. I will find a new face to wear. Someone else to dream me free.
I could feel Alice's presence close by. I understood what I had to do now. I knew how to write the ending to Departure. There's light and there's darkness. Cause and effect. There's guilt and there's atonement. But the scales always need to balance. Everything has a price. That's where Zane had gone wrong. There's a long journey through the night back into the light.
Alice? Alice? Oh no!
It's not a lake. It's an ocean.
Alan, wake up.
Okay. Yeah. So that was confounding. When people played this in the original release, did they just break the disc in half? What? So normally I like to spend the time... So first of all, we're definitely going to get a copyright strike on this, so I'm going to have to skip the audio there. normally I like to fill the time during the credits by talking about the adventure and talking about the story and the themes and what it meant, and I am absolutely mystified. I've been in the past, on rare occasions at least, accused of just liking everything. Oh, I always have positive things to say about things. Well, the thing is, I like a lot of the games that I play, and I've enjoyed playing this game. What I've not enjoyed is the ending, because what the fuck? Here's my understanding of the story. I'm not sure that I have an understanding of the story. I've been, like, sort of turned inside out. And I'm not sure if this is going to make for interesting viewing here at the end of the episode. I always watch these things afterwards and think, oh man, I really should just cut the episode. So I'll tell you what. I wasn't sure if we were going to do it. Now I am sure we're going to do it. There are 2 additional episodes here, and I did ask my producer, apparently this is like the DLC pack that was released afterwards. So rather than trying to break down whatever that was, we are going to rejoin a little bit later in the weekend, possibly tomorrow afternoon, or maybe tomorrow evening, because this is a game best played at night, with Special One The Signal, and try to figure out what the hell just happened. So yes, I very much agree with... So I agree with several comments just made in chat. Like let's not end this on an excessively negative note. A, the game still looks great. Ironically, the pre-rendered cinematics that were probably the high point of the Xbox 360 game look the least good on the PC. The actual in-game graphics look awesome, and the company that was responsible for the PC port should be very, very proud of the work that they did. On a modern rig, it runs great. Secondly, I've been playing this entire game with an Xbox One controller, and it controls perfectly. It feels absolutely the way that you want it to. I mentioned earlier that I never quite mastered the weapon wheel. That's on me. It's actually very intuitive. It is what is it? Right for your pistol, down for your grenades, and then the thing that always tripped me up is it's up for the rifle and left for the flare gun. That I always in my head had that reversed and should probably have checked to see if that was reversible. Anyway, game looks great. I actually really like the voice acting, and I think that the actors were probably directed to be weird and a little bit stilted, because that felt very much like an intentional directorial choice rather than a failure of the voice actors. Sometimes you play a game and you're like, oh, this has quite bad voice acting. And other times you play a game and you'll pick up on little oddities that seem designed to heighten the mood of the game, and this was very much in that sense. And as Vcrest says, 7 years on, and this game looks very good. I wouldn't mistake it for a modern game, what with some of the pop-up and weird texture issues, but those aside, like the fog in particular still looks as good as a lot of modern games. That said, boy, that story ending. Yeah, we're gonna play more of Alan Wake so that I can try to put together exactly what the result here was, but I can imagine having bought this for $60 when it first came out and having been displeased. Wow. That did not bring about any of the narrative closure that I would have wanted, and I can see why people would have been so hungry for a sequel. Okay, all of that said, we might see a little bit of audio go away here because I want to see if More Than a Mia is streaming just yet. Let's make sure that this is muted. Mute tab. No, that's me. Where is she? Okay, I don't think that she's up just yet. Boy, that is frustrating because I have nothing more to play or filibuster with. So she is up. Okay, thank you very much. So that is not showing up on my stream. I'm glad that Tashir pointed that out. So we are going to bounce over to twitch.tv/morethanamia and join her for her premiere episode of Soma. And we will see you again in the near future for some more Alan Wake. Until next time, thank you so much, and I hope you have a great evening. Okay, actually, I apologize. Tashir is saying, we'll probably cut the episode there, but Tashir is saying that she's she started and then stopped. Well, you know what? Let's try to join her when she actually does start up. So we are going to toss over to her. If she's not up right at the moment that we join, I hope that you will sort of bear with her for a moment, whatever technical issue. Hopefully she can get that sorted out. We're going to raid over there right now. Thank you very much.